Not in an arrogant way, but in a quietly lonely way. This is one of the most commonly reported experiences for gifted adults.
Researchers at the Gifted Development Center have found that gifted souls often feel like they don't quite belong in the room.
Conversations don't go deep enough, humor is misread, interests don't align. It's not about being better, it's about the frequency. And when you spend years trying to tune yourself down to match the people around you, it creates a kind of low-grade exhaustion. It's a weariness that's very hard to name. These first three signs, intensity, questioning, and feeling out of sync, they don't usually look like gifts from the outside. In fact, they often look like problems to the rest of the world. That is exactly why so many gifted people move through life without ever recognizing what they carry inside.
The fourth sign is a fierce, almost uncomfortable awareness of your own imperfections. It's a painful kind of perfectionism.
This is a gap, a painful one, between the extraordinarily high standard your mind sets and what you actually produce. That gap creates a very specific self-criticism. You hold yourself to internal benchmarks that nobody else can see. Even when others are impressed by your work, you already know exactly where it fell short of your true vision. Studies consistently link this internal perfectionism to high metacognitive ability. Your brain is unusually good at evaluating itself. That capacity is rare, but it also means you are your own harshest critic by design. Fifth, you learned early how to hide. You learned how smart you were and how to mask it. This is what researchers call intellectual camouflage. You learn to slow yourself down in conversations, letting others speak first, and holding back the answers you already knew.
You learned that being too much, too curious, or too intense made people uncomfortable. So, you adjusted.
And over time, that adjustment became second nature. The tragedy is that this behavior often becomes your permanent identity. You genuinely forget what you are capable of. The camouflage becomes the person's sixth. Your mind makes invisible connections.
You see links that other people miss. And sometimes you don't even know how to explain how you got there.
This is divergent thinking, the ability to draw links between systems or experiences that appear completely unrelated. A gifted mind doesn't just think linearly, it moves in webs, in networks, in sudden leaps that feel intuitive but are deep. These leaps are actually the result of rapid, unconscious synthesis. Your brain is literally wired to find patterns others miss. Neuroscience researchers have found greater neural connectivity between regions of the brain that don't typically communicate. The seventh sign is something that surprises people, an almost overwhelming and fierce sense of justice. Gifted individuals tend to develop a strong moral sensitivity early. This isn't about rules, it's about a visceral reaction to unfairness, a feeling that something is fundamentally wrong when people are treated unjustly. This can make the world emotionally exhausting. The world is full of small injustices that most people simply move past, but you struggle to do that. You feel them all. Eighth, you have a strange relationship with boredom now. It's not just that you get bored, it's that it feels physically painful. Researchers link this to a high need for stimulation, a lower threshold for understimulation in an active brain. When your brain doesn't get input, it starts generating its own through worry, fantasy, or a deep sense of restlessness. What looks like distraction from the outside is often your mind searching urgently for something worth thinking about. The ninth sign. You feel emotions with unusual depth, and you have often been told that you are The emotional world of a gifted person is not quieter than average. It is significantly louder and more vibrant. Research on high sensitivity overlaps considerably with giftedness. You process emotional experiences more thoroughly and slowly. This isn't weakness, it's a neurological reality, Nen. Your amygdala, the brain's emotional center, functions with greater reactivity. You don't feel more because you're fragile. You feel more because your brain is built to experience the world that way. And the 10th sign, perhaps the most telling of all. You have never quite believed the compliments people give you. This is called the imposter phenomenon. And it tends to run especially deep in gifted individuals because of a paradox. The higher your internal standard, the more convinced you are that you haven't actually met it, despite the evidence. Your awareness of how much you don't know is vast. Because your mind is always reaching further, it never quite settles. Your mind never quite settles on a feeling of arrival. So here is the quiet insight that ties all of this together. Giftedness, in the psychological sense, is not about exceptional achievement or winning trophies.
It is not about test scores. It is, at its core, about a different way of processing the entire world around you. More intensely, more deeply, and more relentlessly. And because that difference often doesn't look like an advantage, because it comes with its own unique weight, many gifted people spend decades wondering why they feel so different. If several of these signs resonated with you, not as a flattering checklist, but as a genuine recognition of your life,
then perhaps the most useful thing you can take from this is simply permission. Permission to be exactly who you are.
Permission to stop seeing your intensity as a flaw. Permission to stop apologizing for how deeply you think or feel. It is okay that you cannot stay on the surface of things. Those aren't problems to be solved. They are the shape of your mind.
Understanding that shape, really understanding it, is where something truly important can finally begin.